Saturday, everyone. Thanks for hopping on to our Saturday morning training. This morning, we are going to do something different. I'm so excited about this, and I'll let Michael share on that. You all know what's coming, I think, for the majority. But we have a fantastic Saturday planned for you, and great things coming in the next meeting as well at the 9:30 Pacific time presentation from corporate. Want to make sure you get everyone that you know on that call so that it doesn't have to be the trickle-down effect, the telephone game. We want to make sure and have them hear it firsthand. But I will talk a little bit more on that at the end of this call. But right now, I want to go ahead and get going on what we're doing for our call. So I'm going to pass it over to our mentor, our business partner, the amazing Mr. Michael Zappia. He's going to share on what we have in our hands today. So Michael, take it away.
Excellent. Thank you, Colette. Can you hear me okay? Am I coming through clear?
Yes.
Crystal? Okay, good. Good morning, everybody. Well, I'm excited to partake in today's teaching. Last night I put out a post. I put out a lot of posts. You guys might laugh at how many posts I put out, but I enjoy teaching. I enjoy sharing. I enjoy writing. And when something pops in my head that I think you all deserve to know or to hear, then I take the liberty to just start either writing or recording a video and sharing it with you. So from time to time throughout the week, there's going to be some just extra videos up there that I think will help you. Things that help me along the way. I want to start out with a power quote for all of you. If you've been a part of our team for any length of time now, we teach based on power quotes. We teach this industry based on witty expressions and phrases and acronyms that can help you learn the business. They're like little things that you can grab onto that you can think about. For instance, when you're disappointed, I expect all of you to say, discipline your disappointments. Every one of us is going to get disappointed. Discipline your disappointments. In my life, when things don't go the way I want them to, because of my personal growth and the books I've read and everything I've learned over the years, I hold on to these words like scripture, just like daily scripture. And disappointment's a big one. Matter of fact, I wrote a post for all of you at 3 o'clock in the morning. For whatever reason, Amy Perkowski, I keep waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why. It's annoying. But when I wake up and my mind is moving, then I act upon what my mind's moving on. And I want to talk about, in that post, I want to talk about the key word, which is work and grow. As a matter of fact, I put up a new banner graphic on our Facebook page. If you guys noticed it, I think it's there. It says grow. And then it has the time. Yep, Patricia saw it. And I said that because this morning and this time that we spend together is all about growth. This is what'll change you. This is what'll make a difference in your future, personal and professional growth. And then when I got on the concept of growth and I talked about learning in the 4 ifs and how I expanded my mentor, Richard Burnett's 4 ifs to the 5 ifs, I got to the word work. And none of this makes sense if we don't work, right? None of the learning and the reading and none of this stuff makes a lick of difference if we don't work the other 23 hours of the day. In my opinion, if you're not growing, you're decaying. Please write that in your notes. If you're not growing, you're decaying. That was a big one for me years ago. If you're not focused on growing, getting better, improving in every aspect of your life where you feel you need growth, then you're decaying. I'm in my car right now, and I liken it to my shifter right here. If you're not in reverse, if you're not in drive, you're in reverse. There is no neutral in life. You can't just sit back and just be okay with what you currently know, what your current growth is. There is no neutral and there is no park. There is a park. I take it back. Some people just park themselves for 10, 20 years and they never grow and they never change. One of the most beautiful things I think all of us can do is work harder on ourselves than we do on anything else. The expression from Jim Rohn is work harder on yourself than you do on your job. I like to say work harder on yourself than you do on anything. Because some of us don't have jobs. Some of us have careers. Some of us have businesses. But work harder on you. And what I've noticed in my life is that the moment I started to focus on growing, I stopped decaying. We're all going to get older, but none of us are guaranteed to get wiser. That's another power quote for you. all the words I'm sharing. Like I am a walking, talking power quote, Colette. I don't even think I can have a conversation without shooting power quotes to you. If you're not growing, you're decaying. We're all going to get older, but we're not all guaranteed to get wiser. And what I love most about network marketing, more than anything else, is I love the transformation that I've seen happen in people's lives. My one mentor said to me, he said, Michael, I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know where we found you. And I looked and I said, what do you mean where we found you? I have no idea what you've been through in life. I have no idea what kind of growth and experiences you've had. I got to take you from where you are today to where you're going to be tomorrow if you're going to be successful. So I know that we're an organization of a lot of people, and I know a lot of us, probably the average age on this team, I don't want to guess the average age, but the bottom line is we're never too old to grow. We're never too old to learn, and we're never too old to get wiser. And what we're going to experience today is a really fun book reading for all of you. I've got Tomas with us. I've got Amy Prokowski, and I've got Steve Harrington with us. The three of them are going to read the book on network marketing for all of you. We're going to read for a half an hour, for 30 minutes. Everyone's line is going to be muted. Guys, I want you to just sit back and enjoy the book. And what we're going to do with this, just so you know, is we're going to keep the raw footage. So this video right now will be recorded. It is being recorded, and it'll be sent to our YouTube channel. But Brian Howard is going to create an audible book, or really a video audible book, out of what we do over the coming weeks. Our goal is to read for 30 minutes for the next 3 weeks, have different readers come in and read for the team. And then we're going to compile the whole book together. We're going to put it up on YouTube. And from that point forward, if we ran out of books, which we're almost out of books, then people can go to our YouTube channel and listen and watch the leaders of the Z team read the book. And one last thing for you before I get things started here. I wanted to wait for the media mail to get out to every single one of you. I trust that over 125 people got the book. I'm excited. Colette, how many people do we have with us right now?
We have 50, right at 50.
We have 50. We have 50.
51.
So 51, okay. So good. We have a good group of people who bought the book. The whole goal I was sending these out was I want to read it together, and then I want to study it together. Because here's the truth. Everything that's in that book is what you should be doing for your business. And honestly, if it's not in that book, in my professional opinion, you don't need to do it. I don't care if it's 2024. I don't care about all the new technologies out there in the world. This is a relationship business. It's not an automated computer business. It's a relationship business. And everything Richard teaches is everything that you deserve to do to go out there and build an awesome business. So with that, Tomas, are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Cool. So I'm gonna introduce everyone to Tomas, Steve, and Amy. These are three. I can hear you. Yep. Tomas is down in Florida. Him and Yenny have a facility now where they work their TranzactCard business, which is just awesome. I loved seeing the pictures. Annabelle shared them with me the other day, and they're going to be doing meetings in that facility and blowing their business up in South Florida and making sure they get a piece of it. Amy Prokowski is in Arizona. So is Steve Harrington, our Arizona leaders out there. And they're going to read the book for us. We're going to start with Tomas. Then it's going to be handed immediately over to Steve at 10 minutes, and then immediately over to Amy at 10 minutes. So I'm going to sit back and enjoy this with all of you. Grab your pen and paper and take notes if you want to, or just sit back, close your eyes, and enjoy the book. And we'll see you at the end.
All right. We're reading the book on multi-level marketing by Richard Call. Introduction. Where can a person with no formal education earn $10,000, $50,000, and even as much as $100,000 or more in a month? Multi-level marketing, that's where. Where can a person have an opportunity to make a fortune with absolutely no cash investment? Multi-level marketing, that's where. Where can you start a business and have all the experts in the industry willing to help you without charging you a fee? Multi-level marketing, that's where. To me, the ultimate in life is having the freedom to do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it, without once thinking of whether you have the time to do it or the money to afford it. I don't know of a vehicle in the world to get you that freedom like multi-level marketing. For those of you just getting into multi-level marketing, or those of you who have been in and have not been successful, the secrets lay ahead in every chapter. If you're ready for them, you'll find them. See you on the beaches of the world. Dedication. To my dearest wife, Carol, my very best friend for over 25 years, who is truly the biggest heroine of anybody I've ever met in person or anyone I've ever read about. To my 3 daughters, Robin, Laura, and Jennifer, who have never caused me 1 second of unhappiness. To my son-in-law, Bert, who is just like a son to me. To my grandson, David Alexander, who has brought so much joy into our lives. And to my mother-in-law and father-in-law, Lillian and Morris, who represent to me what every family in America should be. You're all the greatest family I could have ever wished for. Introduction to Multi-Level Marketing. Today is March 10th, 1988. I'm sitting on our patio in our winter home in Boca Raton, Florida. It's 6:15 in the morning. It's a cloudy, overcast day, but it's about 70 degrees, and that's a lot better than Hop Hog, Long Island, New York, where Kel and I live the other 6 months of the year. I'm about to write the shortest and most concise book on multi-level marketing that I can. In 1984, I wrote a book called The First Million is the Easiest, which was the story of Carol's and my success in multi-level marketing. This book will be strictly on the nuts and bolts of multi-level marketing. I've been told by many people during my years in the industry, which I consider the greatest industry in the world, bar none, provided you have the right product and the right company behind you, that they have never met anyone like me. That observation has come from people earning over $1 million a year. I don't mean to sound like I'm bragging, but I know my accomplishments have been dramatic. I've earned over $100,000 a month in some programs. Carol and I have brought 5 companies to the top, only to have 4 of them taken away from us for one reason or another, either greed, undercapitalization, bad management, or all of the above. I was prospected into this industry 8 years ago, just like each and every one of you reading this book. The contact comes from a friend, a total stranger, or through an advertisement in the opportunity section of your local newspaper. That's the only way you get into multi-level marketing. There's no listing in the yellow pages. You may not know it, but the person that prospected you into this industry may turn out to be the best friend you'll ever have. He or she may have turned you on to the best business venture of your life. What you do with it is another story. I always say opportunity is more than being at the right place at the right time. It's being there at the right time in your life, when you're ready for it, ready to put your blinders on and go through brick walls for it. That means doing whatever it takes, as long as it's ethical and moral. Someone once said, help enough people get what they want out of life, and you'll get what you want. Carol and I have changed the lifestyles of hundreds of people, and that's the key to this business. The more you help the people you bring into the business become successful, the more successful you become. You only wish you sponsor someone into your business who becomes more successful than you. And as you may have noticed, I said your business. You're the president of your company. You're the CEO. In the corporate world, there's jealousy and politics involved. Not so in multi-level marketing. It's a people business. People helping people. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Although multi-level marketing doesn't have many of the negatives associated with the corporate world, it is very much big business. There aren't too many corporate executives in America who earn the income Carol and I do. And we don't have one employee, not one. We have no overhead except a telephone. That's why it's so easy to move our business back and forth from New York to Florida. There's nothing to move, just Carol and me. No records, no books. The company does the bookkeeping for us. We work right out of our home. It's almost too good to be true, but it is true. The reason most people don't treat it like big business is because it doesn't cost $50,000 or $100,000 or $500,000 to get in. They don't have to pay their attorney $5,000 or $10,000. They don't have to sign an 8 to 10-year lease. They don't have to stock the store with $50,000 worth of product. You see, in MLM, the cost is usually about $25 to put you on the computer and get the company manual. Then you may order the company's products at wholesale. Your first order is for you to use and share with your friends and relatives. You have to become familiar with your products. Let's start from the beginning. You've been invited by someone to a meeting, or you've answered an ad in your local newspaper. You're now at your very first meeting. You may see one person at that meeting, or 5, 25, 50, 100 or more, but you're there. You're looking around, waiting for the meeting to start. You might be saying to yourself, what have I gotten myself into? I really just came here to get my friend off my back. You see people smiling all around you. Everyone's happy. It appears to you to be the beginning of a revival meeting. These people should look happy. Some of them may be making more money in a month than it usually took them 2 years to make. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? I always laugh to myself when someone says to me at a meeting I'm giving, Richard, please do this meeting extra good because I brought someone this evening who's earning over $50,000 a year when I'm making more than that each month. You know, Rich, he's a professional. And I say to myself, yes, just like the professional I used to be, getting up the same time every morning, shaving the same time every morning, having breakfast the same time, then getting to work the same time, having lunch the same time, having dinner the same time, watching the news the same time, going to bed the same time. Boring, isn't it? It's what I call the 40-year plan. That means most people know what they want to do by the time they're 25, and for the next 40 years, they go back and forth to a job, journey of the broke, back and forth and back and forth. No one ever gets anywhere in life working for someone else. They pay you just enough to keep you there. You get caught up in the security blanket. Just take a good look at the people where you work tomorrow. People who are in the same job situation as you, but have been there 5 years longer than you. Are they living better than you? Are they driving a better car than you? Or are they complaining about the same things you are? Well, that's what you have to look forward to. For most people in life, it's just a rut. Let's get back to that first meeting. There are usually a couple of people conducting the meeting. If it's a husband and wife team, the wife usually does the product part of the meeting and the husband does the opportunity part. A general meeting should take no longer than 45 minutes to an hour. The sole purpose of the meeting is just to introduce the company, product, and opportunity, plain and simple. Of course, the person or people giving the meeting might make all the difference in the world as to whether you join or not. However, it shouldn't. If the people giving the meeting are really sharp, you may feel you can't duplicate them. It really doesn't matter. What you should be concerned about are the products and the company they're representing. I've seen some of the most inexperienced people give a meeting and heard the new person say, if they can do it, so can I. Let's face it, if a novice salesperson were selling me a new Rolls Royce for $50,000, I'd buy it sight unseen just because I recognize the value. And that's just how I feel about multi-level marketing. I should have mentioned earlier, it's also known as network marketing. I feel like I'm trying to give gold away for nothing. At your first meeting, your goals might be a couple $100 extra a month, or $1,000 or $10,000. You might be thinking of working at part-time or be ready to jump in full-time. I don't recommend anyone quit their job to go full-time. One of the benefits in this business is that you can start part-time, and when your income is greater than your full-time business, then you can think about going full-time. You do it at your pace. You don't work for anyone. You're your own boss. Whatever it is you're looking for, it's there. You may not see it right now, but it's there. Some of you may think you can never earn more than $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 a month part-time. And the chances are you're right. If you don't think you can, you never will. I spoke to a woman last week from Kansas City. She cleans other people's homes for a living. She's in our business 4 months and already has made over $5,000. And the next month should be making over $8,000 a month. Now that's exciting. And she tells me she doesn't know how she's doing it. She says, I'm just excited about the products and I share them with everyone.
That's that's what we all do every day of our lives. We see a movie, go to a restaurant, buy a product we like, and then tell our family and friends. And who makes all the money? The manufacturer, and then the multitude of people in between. Are we compensated for our recommendation? No. In multi-level marketing, product goes through the manufacturer to the company to you, the distributor. That's how the company can afford to pay out 50 to 60% to their sales force. There's no middleman, no retail stores, no advertising. It's all word of mouth. Each and every one of us is involved with this type of marketing every day of our lives, and we're not even aware of it. The best analogy I can give is as follows. John and Mary are at a PTA meeting. The meeting is over and everyone is looking for a place to go and have some refreshments and talk. John and Mary recommend recommend the new XYZ restaurant that just opened on South Street in the heart of town. Unbeknownst to everyone, the owners of the XYZ restaurant set up a computer, and as John and Mary come in with this crowd of people, they give them an identification number. Let's just say the number assigned to them is number 1. Bill and Betty are number 2. Bob and Jean, number 3, etc. Let's just say that the next day, John has an appointment with a client of his we'll call Tom Watson. And John says to Tom, instead of meeting at ABC restaurant like we usually do, let's meet at the XYZ restaurant. I was there last night with a group of people. The food is excellent and the service was great. And the prices are more than reasonable. So they agree to meet at XYZ restaurant. Well, imagine the next day, Tom has an appointment with the client of his. And because he liked the restaurant, he brings his client there, and so on and so on. Well, further imagine that at the end of the year, the 2 owners of the XYZ restaurant say something as follows. Pete, do you remember that day John and Mary came into our restaurant? Well, because of them, the people they brought, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, we did $432.18 worth of business directly or indirectly attributed to them. Let's send them a check for $32,000. Well, we all know that doesn't happen. As a matter of fact, if John and Mary go to that restaurant and it's busy, they wait in line just like everyone else. Whatever the check comes to is exactly what they pay. And the chances are the owners don't even know who John and Mary are. Yet they are directly responsible for over $320,000 worth of business. Do you get the idea? That's all multi-level marketing is about. Using a product or products and sharing them and the business opportunity with your friends and family, period. Some of your friends will say yes to the product and or opportunity. Some will say no. Some will say no to the opportunity, but want to be a customer. Then maybe 3 months down the road, when they realize how good the products are, they may call and ask to become a distributor. You never know. It's strictly a numbers game. I have always said, if you can turn yourself into a robot for 60 to 90 days and do the same thing over and over and over, you will be successful in multi-level marketing. Why? Because a robot doesn't know what rejection is. One of the roadblocks in MLM is rejection. Rejection from some of the people closest to you. That includes mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, aunts and uncles, nieces and nephews. You got it, all of them. You see, they know you best, and especially if you're a dreamer. They say, what's he or she into this time? You know, it's funny, but people are so quick to poke fun. But if you hit it big in life, everyone wants in on the action. When you really make it big, everyone wears the clothes you wear, eats in the restaurants you eat in. You could have failed at 20 business ventures in a row, but once you hit it big, boy, that guy, Jim, he's a genius. So as I said, they may not get in, but they are all watching you. If you give up because you can't get them to join your organization, then they'll all say, I knew it wouldn't work. Thank goodness we didn't get into that one. I knew I was right, honey. But if you keep at it, all of a sudden, after 2, 3, 4 months, you start to get some phone calls. Hi, this is your Uncle John. Are you still in that thing? You are? I'd like to drop by and talk to you about it. Uncle John's priorities might have changed. He may be in need of some extra money. The timing is now right for him. And that's what it's all about, timing. Being at the right place at the right time. As I said earlier, what you do about it is another story. Every one of us has a sleeping giant inside of us. Every one of us. For most of us, it never comes out. I know hundreds of people in multi-level marketing where it came out big time. It changed their lives, both financially and spiritually. Let's get back to that first meeting. The meeting is now over. Usually your sponsor, the person that brought you to the meeting, is sitting with you. He or she is going to ask if you're ready to sign up to become a distributor. The thing you'll probably do is go for coffee and sign the distributor application and order the product, usually a couple of $100s worth. But the next step is most important. That's making a list of everyone you know. And I do mean everyone. Then start inviting them to your home for a meeting on the specific date agreed to by you and your sponsor. One of the great things about this business is that your sponsor or his sponsor is going to do the meeting. Your responsibility at this point is just to invite people and have some coffee brewing. Never, ever liquor. Coffee and tea, plain and simple. Don't overdo it. You don't want to make a fancy spread because although you may be able to afford it, someone else may say to themselves, I can't afford to do this. That could be the one thing that keeps them from coming into your business. Remember, whatever you do will be duplicated by the people you sponsor. If your home is too small or you don't want to have it there or whatever reason, you can always bring your future prospects to what is called an open weekly meeting, just like the one you attended. Now, the phone call invitation should sound something as follows. Hi, Bill. This is John, with excitement. Mary and I just started a new business venture that we're really excited about. I can't promise you anything, but I would like you to take a look at it. If Bill is married, invite his wife also. We are having some partners of ours over Tuesday at 8 p.m. to explain it. I would like you to be there. Bill. What's it all about? John. Bill, it's too important to discuss over the phone, but it's important that you be there. If you have any credibility with Bill, he'll be there. And I might mention at this point, the first meeting you have is usually what separates the men from the boys or the women from the girls. All our lives, we've invited our friends, immediate family, and relatives over to our home for dinner or whatever, and they come. Now, for the first time in your life, you may experience a feeling that you never had to deal with before. Not only do some of them not come, some don't even give you the courtesy of a phone call, and that hurts. But you can't take it personally. Just call and invite everyone you know. Carol and I invited people we hadn't seen in 20 years to our first meeting. We called our old friends from grade school, distant relatives who we hadn't seen in years. In a later program, the timing was right with one distant relative who we had seen maybe twice in the last 20 years. He joined our organization and earned over $500,000 in 18 months. The company also paid us about $275,000 in bonuses on the volume he created. Yet I didn't want to make the initial phone call. Carol insisted upon it. It would have been terrible injustice to both of us if I hadn't made that call. And that's a valuable lesson to be learned. Some people who are new to multi-level marketing don't want to get their friends involved. They feel like they're asking them to buy something or do them a favor. Imagine that I were a good friend of yours and you got involved with the company we'll call the David Alexander Company. You don't share the opportunity with me because you feel you're imposing on my friendship. And then 2 months later, you find out I'm in the program sponsored through someone else. First of all, I might be a little hurt with you because you didn't think of me to share the opportunity with me. Never prejudge people. And second, let me tell you what you might have missed out on not sponsoring me. My sponsor in the particular program earned $486,000 on our efforts in a 4-month period and over $1 million in 12 months. I'm going to repeat that. In one particular program, my sponsor earned $486,000 in a 4-month period on our efforts and over $1 million in 1 year. You owe it to everyone you know to tell them about the new opportunity you're involved in. I heard Carol on the phone one day inviting people over we hadn't seen in 8 years. I said, what are you inviting them for? They probably had a combined income of over $200,000 a year, and that was 7 years ago. And that was 7 years ago. What would they need with extra income? However, they did join us and went on to earn $300,000. You never know what stage of life people are in when you invite them to hear about the opportunity. The woman I just mentioned later quit her job as a full-time realtor and went full-time into our businesses.
You never know who's going to do the business. You may have a good idea, but you never know. Some of the people you would bet on your life on do nothing, and some who you think will do nothing turn out to be tigers. And you may sponsor a zero who leads you straight to be a tiger. You just never know. I once sponsored someone in Boston who sponsored someone in Florida, who sponsored someone in Texas, who sponsored someone else in Texas through an ad in the newspaper. The person I sponsored and all the rest eventually dropped out of the program. The person in Texas who came through someone who answered the ad really did something with the program. He went from almost having his car repossessed to earning over $15,000 a month. And that was after 4 months in the business. Because I sponsored that first person in Boston, we have earned a fortune in the past 2 years. You never know where it will come from. Like I said earlier, I'm talking about big business. My accountant once said to me, you know, Richard, I have clients who employ 400 to 500 people, have expenses of over $1 million a month, and don't net what you and Carol do. And you and Carol work right out of your home and have no employees. Then he scratched his head. You're not, yet he's not in our business. Maybe one day he will be. Maybe one day when the timing is right. This business, just like every other business, is not for everyone. Who do you sponsor in your business? That's the $64,000 question. There are some who will say sponsor anyone who passes the mirror test. That means hold a mirror under their nose, and if it looks like they're breathing, sponsor them. Some will say use the 3-foot rule. That means if anyone comes within 3 feet of you, sponsor them. Carol and I worked that way for over a year when we first got into multi-level marketing. And as I look back, after all was said and done, it was a waste of our time. The basic rule of thumb in this business is that quality people lead you to quality people, and A people lead you to A people. Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible for an person to lead you to a quality person. I'm just saying it's not the norm. Or really, I should say it's far, 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 far from the norm. Also, sometimes the people you want it for the most, the ones you love, can't see it, and you waste precious time always pumping them up. You wait, or you want it for them more than you want it for themselves. You have to let go. One of the biggest mistakes a person makes coming into MLM is wasting too much time with the wrong people. Maybe they'll come around in the future. Maybe they won't. Now, I consider myself an intelligent person. How could I have wasted so much time in my first program? My sponsor, who prospected me at a muffler shop, saw that I was excited about the business, and he didn't want to discourage me by telling me I was going after the wrong people. You see, when I came back from my first meeting at 3 a.m., I was so excited. I woke up Carol and said to her, I'm going to save the world. Actually, it was my first rally. That's a big meeting where someone in the organization comes in from out of town, someone who's making a lot of money in the business. When I first started, I went to all the wrong people. That's the mistake most people make. When I make it big in this business, then I'm going to tell Bill and Jean, Harry, Betty, and John, Mark, and Sue. Wait until I get those big checks, then they'll believe me. What you have to understand is that you never get those big checks until you sponsor those quality people in the program. Hopefully you'll go get them first. Look for someone who is successful already. It doesn't matter what they are successful in. You want someone who is good at what they do. They might not be making big money, but that's probably because you haven't found the right vehicle yet. Look for someone people will follow. Someone who has integrity and someone who is honest. There is someone in the clubhouse here at Boca Raton who cleans shoes and golf clubs. If he came to me with the opportunity, I'd listen. Why? Because he's an exceptional person. He's the first one here in the morning and the last one to leave at night. He doesn't leave at 5 p.m. when it's time to leave. He leaves when he gets the job done, no matter how late it is. Everyone respects and admires him. He just hasn't found the right vehicle yet. If you sponsor someone in your town who is well known and has taken everyone for a financial roller coaster ride, that person is not going to be successful in your business because no one will follow him or her. I think it's important at this point to let you know how I got sponsored into the industry. 8 years ago, I took Carol's car into a muffler shop to have a tiny leak repaired. That day changed my life. As I was paying the bill, the fellow behind the counter asked me if I was making all the money I wanted to make. I said to him, yes, I do pretty well. Then he said, do you have freedom? And I said, what do you mean by freedom? He said, freedom to do whatever you want and to do whenever you want to do it. I said, No one can do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do it. He then looked at me with a little smile on his face and said, well, I'm involved in that type of business. Now, there's a very, very important point to be made here. The point is that I had an open mind. At that time, I was in real estate and insurance business and doing very well, very, very well. But I was looking for something, so I didn't say to him, if you're doing so well and have so much freedom, what are you doing behind this counter? Full of grease in a muffler shop. As I said, I was looking for something, so I was ready to listen. The timing was right for me. Getting back to the muffler shop, I asked the fellow when the next meeting was, and he said he was giving one tonight, Friday night, and tomorrow. I asked him for directions and drove home as quickly as possible. I was excited. It was 4:50 p.m. I can remember it like it was yesterday. Carol was standing at the refrigerator, starting to prepare dinner for our children, because at 6 p.m., friends were coming to pick us up. We were going along with two other couples to see Bette Midler, front row center. We had the tickets about 2 months. I said to Carol, you're not going to understand this, but we have to go hear about something this evening that sounds too good to be true. Carol said, but we have tickets for tonight. Can we go another night? I said, yes, tomorrow night, but I'd rather go tonight. We gave the tickets away and went that night. We sat there and listened, just like you did at your first meeting. I was excited, but when the speaker from the muffler shop said what the company was, I almost fell through the floor. I couldn't believe it. All this talk about being rich, and we were all going to have to sell soap. I said to Carol, let's go. I've had enough. And Carol said, let's wait until they have coffee and we'll slip out unnoticed. As we were leaving, the muffler shop man met us at the door and looked at me square in the face and said, false pride? Status hang up? And I said, no, we have to pick up our children. I was lying. I just wanted to get out of there. And to think I gave up tickets to see Bette Midler. Before we left, though, he gave us an audio tape entitled Professionals in Blank, blank being the name of the company. The next day, I listened to the tape and said to Carol, there seems to be more than this than we're seeing. Before we signed up, though, Carol and I drove around the country to meet people who are already successful with this company. I was impressed with every one of them. They had something that I didn't, and I was jealous. They had freedom to do what they wanted to do whenever they wanted to do it. As much as we wanted it, though, Carol and I failed miserably in that program. One of the reasons was because the people we were prospecting, and the others was because the program was around for 20 years. Everyone had heard about it. One of the secrets in multi-level marketing, if you want to call it a secret, is getting in before everyone in the country knows about it. By our second MLM program, Carol and I learned to look for people who want more out of life. We look for people who want more quality time with their children and their loved ones, time to pursue hobbies, travel, and enjoy life. Let's face it, most people work so hard, both men and women, and they don't have time. People either seem to have time or money, but not both. You and the people you sponsor into the group will make it when you fall in love with the products and the company, and then tell your story over and over again. I only wish I had a magic pill that I could give each and everyone I sponsor so that they could know what I know about multi-level marketing. I wish they could know it instantly, but they can't, and everyone goes through their trials and tribulations. Everyone, some more or less than others. It's the ones that stick around long enough who succeed, the ones who really use the products, the people who really get to know the company and its principles and feel loyalty and commitment are the ones who make it. Sorry. It's as though you are being tested. Let's see how much they can take. Let's see if they can get through the discouraging part. Then when you've paid your dues, something almost magical happens. It's as if the heavens have opened up for you. All of a sudden, everything seems to be going your way. Everything you touch seems to be turned to gold. You have to pay the price.
Woohoo! Great job. All three of you did an excellent job. Thank you so very much. Good job, everyone.
Yeah, great job, guys. Great reading, Amy, Steve, Tomas. Awesome. How far did we get, Colette?
We are on page 18. and it stopped right at the spot where it was all in capital letters, which is great. You have to pay the price. So we'll remember that. We'll mark it for next week.
Sounds good. How many pages in the book?
Gosh, how many? I forget. 100 and nope, only 79, 80 pages. Yep.
So we might be able to knock it out in 4 sessions together. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, guys, let's open the floor right now. If anybody has any, my phone was blowing up with text messages from a few of you. Amy Wanjan was texting me. This is great. I still
Allison?
haven't got Allison Wanjan said, just haven't gotten my book yet, but this is great. But if anybody has any feedback or any epiphanies or any aha moments or anything they want to share, please share it.
I just want to share that everything they said was so true. I was just thinking about the company that completely worked for me. You know how he said, like, it takes the right vehicle, and it was a company that not very many people had heard of yet. And I will say, like, it completely changed our lives completely. So that was kind of like my first, like, I guess I don't want to say epiphany, but like where like this, I know this works. You know what I mean? So you just have to find the right vehicle. I really believe Transact is the right vehicle. It's something brand new, right? It's never been done before. It's disrupting the industry. I feel like a rebel and I love it. But all that to say, we have to think about, I love what they said about, not trying to hurt the friendship. But then they ended up in the business anyway with somebody else. And then they were kind of hurt that you didn't think highly enough of them to share with them. And I just always think, I don't want to be selfish and keep it to myself. I've got to at least share it. The worst that can happen is that they say no, like literally. And we want to go for no anyway, because we know that if we have no's, we're closer to a yes. So anyway, it's so true. Don't be selfish. I'm so thankful that someone shared my last company with me, because if they hadn't, then I wouldn't be where I am today, truly. So.
That's awesome, Allison. Beautiful. Don't be selfish. Share it with people. Anybody else?
I have something real quick, Tomas. It was funny because just before we started reading this, or as I started that first part about going to that first meeting and looking around at all these crazy people and thinking that you were at a revival meeting, and I was looking to her and I said, do you remember that first one that we went to together? It was exactly like that. And we were thinking, what have we gotten into and how do we get out of this? It was pretty funny. And I'm sure most of us have had that when we've gone to an open meeting, particularly when we don't know what the heck we're going to, right? But I think this last part about sticking around long enough, going through the trials and tribulations, I mean, that's what we're all in right now. So what a great part of the book to end with, because I think that's exactly what we all just need to kind of buckle down and go over our whys one more time and just stick with it. That's it.
And
That's
just
good
to add to
stuff,
that, sorry, I don't mean to talk again, but just to add to that, it makes me think of planting seeds, and we're all planting seeds right now. And we know that if we plant those seeds, eventually we're going to reap a harvest. So don't give up before you've reaped your harvest. It's coming. So it's crazy how it took about 2 to 3 weeks for me to start telling this about people. And it took about 2 to 3, maybe even 4 weeks for people to finally go, okay, you're still doing this. You're serious about this. Okay, like, let me get some more information. And it just takes a little bit of time sometimes for people to be watching you and then realizing that, okay, so that little seed that you're planting, it is going to grow and it's going to continue to grow. So don't get discouraged when they haven't grown yet. It might take a little bit of time. So anyway, sorry.
I'd like
don't
to say
apologize,
something.
Allison. Love your energy, Allison. Yeah, take it away.
I've been in network marketing 15, 16 years, and the company that I joined just before this one was new also, called LifeVantage. And I had looked at other companies and saw people at the top of those companies on stage, and they're the ones who found out about it early. And I thought, well, the only difference between them and me is I'm just coming in late. And so when I found an opportunity where I was first, I jumped in. And here's what I noticed: when you're first, you don't have to be that good, because when you're early, people are jumping on like crazy. All you got to do is just be in and start talking. Now, later on, 2, 3, 4 years from now, when everybody already has a TranzactCard, You're going to have to be really good. What comes out of your mouth has to be very compelling, and you have to have a lot of skills. Right now, you just have to open your mouth. And I found the people who went to the top of that company were new in network marketing, didn't really have a lot of experience, and they just were in the right place, they talked to 20, 30 people, they joined, and they're making $100,000 right now. And it's not because it isn't that they're that great. It isn't that they're that big of a leader. It's because they were in first and they were at the right place at the right time. So I'm thinking we ought to be all saying, hallelujah, brother, that we are in this early. And it's a testimony to each one of us here that we don't need that. We don't need that store filled out perfectly. We don't have to have everybody getting a lot of money. We have vision. And I think you all deserve kudos and a pat on the back. You're in the right place. And this is our message. We're in early. Boom.
Hey,
Drop the mic.
Dal, where did you come from?
What do you mean?
Where are you?
Trisha's group.
I'm in
Where do you
Trisha's
live?
group.
See, this is what I love about this business. All of a sudden, Allison Wanjon pops on the screen and we all get intoxicated with her energy and enthusiasm. And then out of nowhere, this woman who's been hammering me on Facebook to send her a book because she didn't get one, I get to meet her, not in the flesh, but on the screen. And you just popped off the screen. And I loved every second of what you just said. I mean, you're incredible. This is why it's so important, guys, that we spend time with you. Dal, thank you so much for lighting the screen up right now and spreading that information.
Let me tell you, Michael, let me just tell you, and this is a testimony to personal growth. I don't mind sharing with you that I didn't grow as fast as I wanted to in that business. And I spent literally $50,000 on Eric Worre's coaching, $12,000 on every webinar you can think of, social media coaching. I mean, I have spent so much money. And yeah, I went to the top of that company and I'm happy about that. But you can take the skills that you get from personal development and they can drop you in the middle of Nova Scotia. You can build a business from anywhere because you own those skills. You did the personal development. You read the books, just like the one that we're going over today. I'm just telling you, personal development is key and it will show up. So you want to know why I like the screen? It's because I spent all that money and all that time developing myself. And I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy.
We are happy that you showed up. An investment in yourself pays dividends. All the seminars and all the courses, if you took one thing from every single one of them, and the one thing you get out of everything is it's just having confidence and belief in yourself.
Absolutely.
And the more you believe in you, the more you can show up on a camera like you can on a Saturday morning. So God bless you. Thank you for being a part of this team, Dal. I look forward to spending some time with you.
Tell us your name, Dala. Dela. Okay.
Oh, it's not Dal, it's Dela. Oh, even better. Okay.
It's because you don't have your glasses on, Michael. That A on the end.
You know what? It's because I left my glasses in Virginia. That's the problem. I gotta get my glasses. Oh my God, I've been seeing Dale the whole time I've been communicating with you on Facebook. I apologize. Dela,
okay.
welcome, and thank you for being a part of the team. Anybody else? Tough act to follow, but jump in, guys, please.
Hey,
Tanya B wants to say.
Hey, everybody.
I knew it, Tanya. Hey, Tanya.
Hey, yeah, I don't have the book, but I'm gonna get the book. This book just hearing it today, just like just sparked even more. Can you hear me?
Good.
Okay,
yes,
okay. And what I liked about it, what it says, how we prejudge people. You know, it talked about the couple that make $200,000. And, you know, in the average person's eyes, they would think, oh, well, they don't need this. They don't need what I'm doing. They're making enough. But that's something that we can't do because, you know, hey, if we all had glass houses, you know, we see some things and see that a lot of people need a lot of, you know, the motions, the potions and all of that. And they definitely have the cards. So we just have to drip, and I'm here, I'm sticking with it. We just have to drip on them, get these rejections, let them see our energy, let them see our consistency with staying where we are, and they're going to come around because credit cards, debit cards are going to always be there. I love it.
Fantastic. thanks for that addition. Angie.
I want to,
Do you have Facebook?
thank you.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you, Michael, for sending me the book. It's such a wonderful gift. And I'm so happy to be here. But I wanted to say that, like, in these last couple of days, you know, one of the things I tried to share with my team is what was just shared is not to, you know, prejudge, because you maybe have not met your VP yet. Your VP is out there somewhere. And it might be somebody that you know from somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. So it's not the person that you have actually directly, you know, tried to sponsor. But I sponsored somebody last night that I am just so excited about, and I'm going to have to introduce him to Amy Perkovich, because he's here in Arizona, and he is like one of the biggest network marketers for the healthcare field. And I almost didn't approach him because I didn't think he would be interested, because he's so busy. And so, you know, the thing I said to him was that I am very selective of who I join into my team. And I think it's important for people to know that, because I could be out there recruiting everybody and their mother, you know, at every restaurant and everywhere. But I truly want to have people that I know are going to make an impact. And I'm looking for people that are loving and loyal and have you know, a character to them, and people that are going to represent this company well. And he's in the healthcare field, and he does like Medicare for the seniors, and he also does anybody that owns an assisted living home in Arizona. He is the one that does the lives on Facebook and walks you through the homes. Everybody knows who he is, and every you know, December they have a ugly sweater contest, and the white elephant, you know, he's the one that sponsors these every year. So everybody in the healthcare industry knows who he is. And so what I did is I started reaching out to my contacts that I knew from the healthcare field when I was in the healthcare field 2 years ago. And I came across somebody that does an assisted living community, a residential home. And I said, guess who's on my team? And when I mentioned his name, she said, oh my God, are you serious? She said, I want in. And so, you know, you just never know. But when I told him, I said, look, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking people for that are honest and loving and want to help people. And I said, Voss, you have always helped people. You have helped them in so many ways. You are known and loved and trusted. And I know that you could help a lot of people with this. And he's a man of very few words. And so the last thing he said to me was, send me your link. So, you know, it's going to be great here in Arizona. So thank you for this, Michael. And I just wanted to say again, edify the people that you talk to and let them know why you are choosing them. And that's what I told him. I said, you are all of these things and more. And I would be honored to have you on my team. So thank you.
Great stuff, Angie. Congratulations. Great energy. Keep it going. Who's next?
Okay, so we're going to take one more, and Janora has her hand up.
Awesome. Hey, so I just highlighted one thing I thought was awesome that stuck out. It said, I feel like I'm trying to give away or give gold away for nothing. And but basically what I caught out of that is every time I share this business, it's like I'm giving away a gold. It's like I'm giving away a gift. And so my perspective on that is if you come into this and you have that mindset of, man, this is such a gift, this is such a piece of gold, we are giving away gold to everybody and we are helping changing lives. So that just really stuck out to me because I really do think this is such a gift and such a piece of gold that we're giving every single person we encounter.
Yeah, Janora, that's beautiful. Richard said to me, Michael, he said, when I started to build a massive team, he said to me, he goes, I don't want you driving around town with gold in the back seat of your car, in the trunk of your car, trying to give it away to people. And I said to him, what do you mean? He goes, look at what you're doing. You're changing hundreds of people's lives right now. You got a group of thousands of people. He said, Michael Zappia doesn't get in his car and spend his time giving away gold to people. He said, I need you to keep your butt at home. And I said, what do you want me to do? He said, have everybody come to you. He goes, imagine if you did have gold in the trunk, gold in your possession. Would you go drive around to your family and friends and take it out of the trunk and hand it to them? I said, no, probably not. I'd be afraid someone would steal my car. He goes, no, you'd bury it in your backyard and you'd invite people to come over your house and sit on the couch and sign a piece of paper that they're going to keep their mouth shut about what you're about to give them. And then you're going to give them the gold. He goes, that's how I want you to do the business. And that stuck with me. It's stuck with me that what I had to offer people was more than what they had to offer me. And I started to realize that from a posture perspective, anyone who was lucky enough to sit with me to hear about this business, they were the lucky ones, not me. It wasn't me signing up them. It was them getting to work with me. So that paradigm shift that Janora pulled out of the text, which was beautiful, Janora, I caught that as well. And I wondered if anybody else caught it. I feel like I'm giving away gold for nothing. No. Each and every one of us has gold right now in our possession. And you get to be picky, like Angie said, picky of who you share it with, like Juan John said. You get to be picky. And when your mindset flips from, oh my God, I've got something everyone deserves to hear about. Now, all of a sudden, you don't go into conversations feeling like, oh, I hope they don't prejudge me. I hope they don't think I'm trying to sell them something. No, that completely changes. The moment it will absolutely change, and I'll end with this. The moment this business will change for you is when you are successful. It'll hit you like a ton of bricks, like, oh my God, I've got something to offer people. And then when that mindset shifts, everything starts to flood into your life. Your business will explode. Everything will change. Don't wait for you to be successful, for you to start understanding that you have gold right now to deliver to people. Take it away, Clep.
Yes. The best part about this business to me is I get to pick the people I want to work with. Those people that are enthusiastic, are happy, are wanting to help others. And that's, Michael knows, that's been one of my very best pulls from this business, is the fact that we get to pick the people that we work with, right? Whoops, there goes the alarm. So what I have to say about today's call, we have a half hour and we're going to be on the corporate call, right? Everyone get your teams on there. I want to ask that you have a very, very open, entrepreneurial, visionary mind, just like the reason that you're here today, right? Have that mind, because I don't know how about you, but every presentation I give, I find that people get stuck on one thing that I may have said, and they don't hear the rest of the presentation. Does that happen to you? I find that happening to me. Okay, so make sure that you open your mind and listen to everything that has to be said on this next call. And then we can start, taking the pieces and exploring on all of those. But I just want you to have that open mind, because you could get lost on a rabbit hole on one thing. I do it myself. I go on calls and then I start finding myself thinking about that one thing, and then I miss everything else. So have that open mind, and I'm excited for you to hear everything and excited to have you on another call. There will be more calls as we go on to explore and open this big window that we're going to be shared with. Okay. So thanks for coming on today. That was excellent reading by the three of you, Amy, Steve, and Tomas. Thank you so much. And thank you, Michael. Appreciate you as always, and appreciate all of your feedback, guys. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.
Thank you, Colette. Thank you, Michael.
Thanks, everybody.
Yes.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. Loved
Thank
it.
you, everybody. Thank you.